Grayskull. I have the power! Yeah.
Profesor Macabro, Profesor Macabro.
Greetings and salutations. It is I, Professor Macabro. You're probably wondering, Professor, you look a little less regal today. Well, there's a reason for that, my friends. And the reason for that is because we're going through a little bit of a heat wave here in the grand old country of Mexico, like a lot of countries in the world. Yes, indeed. Those people that say that global warming is not a thing, fuck you. Because I am melting my balls off. So I was debating whether or not to not make content, so I avoid a heat stroke with the regalia, or remove the regalia and make content. So I decided to make content because I like making content. And no heat is gonna stop me from invading your screens with my nonsense. Yes, indeed. Just look a little less regal. I must admit, yes, indeed. But I can sport my shirts like this Rick and Morty shirt. I bought it at Five Below. Yes, indeed. And the reason why I am here with you, tormenting you with my nonsense, is because I saw, finally, a movie that I wanted to see in theaters. I wanted to support this in the theater because I wanted this movie to do good. Now, I will freely admit, when this movie first released, the trailer or the teaser, whatever it was, it didn't look good. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Then I saw Jared Leto, and I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, it's not gonna be good. But then I saw another trailer promoting it, and it had Evelyn, played by Alison Brie, and I was like, huh. Then I actually heard Skeletor talk with his grandiose thing, and I was like, huh. And that trailer was actually better edited and cut, and it felt good. And I was like, huh. I actually want to go see this now. But unfortunately, here in the grand old country of Mexico, it came and went in a flash, and again, didn't get to see it in the theater, which made me quite angry. Yes, indeed. But because it was made in collaboration with Prime, Amazon Prime Video, it released in Amazon Prime, and that's where I got to see it. And the movie in question, in case you didn't get it from the intro, with the beautiful sort of power that I got way back at Comic-Con many years ago, which is very good quality. I've gotten a lot of inflatables from Comic-Con, and they get a hole and they start leaking air and they're worthless. This one has been held intact very, very well. I'm surprised, no leakage, no nothing. It's very, very good quality prop here. Thankfully, I do have another one still sealed, but I'm quite happy with this one. And when this movie came out, Masters of the Universe, they did give out, if you entered a panel or a raffle or something, a really cool plastic replica of the sword of power from Eternia. And well, yes, again, in case you didn't see the title or the sword, I finally saw Masters of the Universe. Well, it's not a remake, it's kind of like a live-action adaptation, the second live-action adaptation we've gotten for He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Yes, indeed, that delightfully, well, some people would say delightfully campy cartoon that would reuse a lot of the same shots, like everyone laughing, or everyone running. But I loved He-Man, yes, indeed, I loved how... Especially, I must admit, the one that I really, really liked was Skeletor. Yes, and then him and Starscream were my favorite villains because they were so over the top and delightfully inept. Also, Cobra Commander, I guess I could also put him in there. But Skeletor especially because I liked his look. The purple, the blue, the skull head, which might actually be in the inspiration why I like so many skulls Yes, indeed. But I liked Skeletor. He was my favorite one. And in the Dolph Lundgren live-action movie, Skeletor was the highlight of that movie. Yes, indeed. Dolph Lundgren was a really good He-Man. And the guy they got to play Man-at-Arms, and the chick from Tila, and Courtney Cox was really good in it. I think it was Courtney Cox. Might be confusing her with someone else, but I'm 50% sure it was Courtney Cox. If not, I'll make a correction here. Yes, indeed. But, or at least someone that really looked like Courtney Cox back in the day. But, I like that one. I was a little upset that they didn't have Orko, they didn't have Battle Cat. Instead of Orko, they had this weird looking guy with the thing that would teleport people to different dimensions, and they would go to Earth, and I was like, I don't want to go to Earth, I live in Earth, it's boring as shit, I want to see Eternia. But in the Dolph Lundgren Eternia, it's all fucked up because Skeletor has risen to power and everything. But the Skeletor in that one, top notch, clap, 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 high praise. Yes, indeed. So I had a lot of expectations on Skeletor not sucking in this one. And in this one, it does start with He-Man or Prince Adam going to Earth. Skeletor is invading Eternia, and he's destroying everything with his legion of villains. And to save the Sword of Power and Prince Adam, they send him to Earth, and I was like, shit. It's another one of these fucking things. Why do you want to bring people from their fantastical, beautiful, creative world and plump them on boring-ass Earth? I fucking hate that. I want to live in their world. I don't want to live in this, whatever the fuck this is. But thankfully, it doesn't take place everything in there. It's just the intro. Because Prince Adam still has memories of Eternia, and I'm surprised he wasn't, locked in a loony bin, because he's obsessed with Eternia. He's on a date, and he's talking about, which is a very good way to plot dump everything, because he's talking about how he loves Eternia, how everything came to shit, and how he wants to go back, and his date's like, well, I think someone's calling for me. Bye-bye. And everyone at work is worried because he's looking at swords, because he's trying to get the Sword of Power that he lost on his little Guardians of the Galaxy time jump through dimensions. But eventually he does find it, which is very peculiar. He finds it at a comic shop. I would assume a sword of that nature lost for 15 years would appear in a museum or something. But no, it's at a comic shop. So he grabs the sword, does the thing, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power, and nothing happens, and he's like, oh shit, I am gonna look crazy. But eventually, he is besieged by Beastman, and I like the way Beastman looks in this one. Yes, indeed, he looks very feral. A little CGI, which was very disappointing. A lot of CGI. But he still looked good, cool. I liked how Beastman looks in this one. And Adam's like, because he's not He-Man, he's Prince Adam. He's kind of worthless. Especially after 15... He was already worthless to begin with at the beginning. But after 15 years of living on Earth, he's even more useless. So he's almost dead when all of a sudden Tila comes in. And Tila... I like it, Tila. Muy caliente. Like the casting of Tila in this one. Yes, indeed. And he saves him, and then they take a ship... And Guardians of the Galaxy swirly effects, and they reach Eternia. And I'm like, thank you! Oh my goodness gracious! Thank you for taking us off drab, boring, stupid Earth and going into Eternia. Yes! But unfortunately, much like the Dolph Lundgren thing, Eternia is, all destroyed because Skeletor has had 15 years of power. And he's destroyed everything. And he's like, it's all ruined. And I'm like, it's not as colorful. But still... I'm with it. And then he goes to the base and he meets Ram Man and Fisto and Mechanic and that's it. Then no Orko. He reunites with Battle Cat eventually, and we see the Sorceress in her eagle form, which is pretty cool. And in comes Evil-Lyn. And I must say, even in the cartoon, I also had a thing for Evil-Lyn. I seem to have a lot of unresolved issues because I like the villainesses in movies as well. Maleficent, the Baroness, Catwoman, Evil-Lyn. I just like me an evil femme fatale, a sexy femme fatale. They might kill me, but it's gonna be worth it. Yes, indeed. And Evil Lynn is played by Alison Brie, and I think she did a very good job. In the original one, I forget her name, so I'm gonna put her here. But she played Evil Lynn, and she had the really cool deep eyes like Alexandra Daddario, and she did it pretty good. But Alison Brie really gets to play with the character, and she kind of has this Harley Quinn kind of obsession thing with Skeletor, because Skeletor is an asshole in this one. But she's kind of like, yeah, he's choking her, and he's like, yeah, please, Daddy, more. At least that's the vibe I got. But I liked Abel Lynn's in this movie, and I like the costume, and I like her portrayal. Top notch. And the thing that I thought was going to suck the most was Jared Leto as Skeletor. But he did a really good job in this, I must say. He had some real cool lines, and he was menacing when he was in the... I like the costume design they gave this Skeletor. And he was menacing, but also he was goofy, like... That's it. When I raise my hand, that's it, I'm done. It's the crescendo. And ridiculous stuff like that. I was like, bravo, bravo. That's my kind of stuff. And then he goes into Adam's mind, and he's a gym bro Skeletor, an office Skeletor holding a mug, and I'm like, top-notch stuff. I love it. And it does have some elements of Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm not gonna lie, let's be honest. It does feel a little bit inspired by Guardians of the Galaxy or Flash Gordon, something like that. But I was with it, and I was cheering them on. They do have your message of, machismo, or being a man, versus your toxic masculinity. And Man-at-Arms, who's played by Idris Elba, defines it the best. A man will fight for his family, and he'll stand up for what's right. And that is the measure of a man. And I like that quote. I like that. A lot of people should watch this movie and pay attention to that, because while it is true that there are people that are, yes, toxic masculinity is a thing, we have also forgotten what it is to be a man, like a man's man. And this movie, I feel, does balance that out quite nicely. I quite enjoyed that, yes indeed. So, Masters of the Universe gets high praise from your old pal, Professor Macabro. Great visuals, great casting, great performances, a good message in there as well, and I just liked it. If you didn't get a chance to see Masters of the Universe in the theater, well, unfortunately that's a shame, because apparently it didn't do that well. They were going to set up a sequel with She-Ra and Hordak, which would have been really cool. I hope it does happen somehow. But really disappointed. This movie was so good, and it flopped big time at the box office, and we won't get that cool sequel. But you can still watch it in Prime. If Prime sees that it got some traction, maybe they might release an exclusive to Prime thing, and we will get that sequel. So fingers crossed, we will get to see a sequel of Masters of the Universe, and they follow this formula. I don't want them to change anything. I want them to do it just like they did this one, but expand the world and the characters. Yes, indeed. Now, Orko does show up at the end. He does the little... If you watch the old He-Man cartoons, they had a little... Like G.I. Joe, they had a little moral thing at the end, and that's what Orko does in this one. So, I like that. I like that a lot. And I like his design. I thought that was pretty cool. And I would like to see Hordak in a live-action form. We'll see. But have you seen Masters of the Universe? If not, you should get on that. It's really good. High praise from your old pal, Professor Macabro. And if you didn't see it, because you were also worried about Jared Leto being involved, let us know in the comments down below. But until I see you all again next time, this has been Professor Macabro thanking you, and wishing you all, like always, a good evening.